Ah, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. I can say we are the only podcast with the funkiest music in geocaching. But more than that, we are also the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. So each week we'll talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're wondering if the moon landing was just a hoax, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
That's right. And that means that it's time to bop your head at a bus stop to the beat of the music. But after that, it's time to bring in our grounded gibbon. Some say he is the third nicest Canadian. Others say he thinks money laundering involves a washing machine. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Well, I don't know what else you use a washing machine for, so
That's
this
what I'm
is
thinking.
it's gotta be that. All right. Speaking of washing machines and dirt, we're going to talk about earth caching.
Ooh, a little earth, dirt. I like the connection. I got it. Yeah, good.
That was a real stretch. That segue was.
Mm.
All right, big stretch. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we are very happy to be here. And I have to say, I in particular am delighted to be here with two of my best friends that I get to hang out with on Thursday nights.
Aw.
It's so fun. I'm so glad that we're able to fairly regularly get together and do this now. It's been a while that we've gotten into this routine. So
We are regularly irregular.
we are. We
Ooh.
are.
I
Well,
like being irregular. That's where I buy my clothes.
well, before we get into that stuff, just a quick reminder. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Just a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And of course, that includes Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. If you would like to know more about supporting the show, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com a website.
That's entirely the right thing to do. And do you know what else we like?
Yes. What else?
We like glows. So we would like it if you would send in a glow-worthy log. And it's time for the geocaching log of the week. Yes, we call it the glow. Whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it. Do you know why? Because logs simply make geocaching better. I know that's what you were going to say.
It's true.
What I say. You can send an email or a field recording. No, you're not recording. You're out in the field using your smartphone, using the voice recorder message app, whatever will record your voice. Send that to feedback@cachingnw.com. You know what? You got that cell phone right there in your hand. You could call 253-693-TFTC or use the voicemail tool on the website and show us how you glow.
Yeah, and I know Landmark was excited because I saw the little excited hands, but now I want cheese, Grummet.
That's right.
I know where there's cheese.
That's right. All righty. Well, this week's glow says, in keeping with the recent International Earthcache Weekend, earthcaching, there's a theme. I would like to submit Hoochie Man 1968's log on the Earthcache Whitty's Lagoon Sea Bluffs, a lesson in erosion for the glow.
Are you witty?
It doesn't say here who submitted said glow, but we will read it nonetheless. The glow reads, ventured down to Whitty's Lagoon for this close and easy earth cache today, but stopped at a log labeled nude. As advertised, there was bare flesh at ground zero, and I was too embarrassed to introduce myself to those very brazen geocachers. Plenty of evidence for answers on the walk down the beach. I'll log once I've untangled myself from my viewpoint hidden in the bushes. No pics, sorry.
I guess we know now why there is no submitter for this log. But good job, Hoochie Man 1968.
There you go.
Oh, that is funny.
1968 being the year that Apollo 7 successfully launched from Cape Kennedy.
There you go. Well, and I was going to say regarding a what appears to be an earth cache placed at a clothing optional beach. There is one of those in the Metro Vancouver area, an earth cache.
An earth cache?
Yep, on a
Oh.
clothing optional beach.
Oh.
So if that's your thing, come on up.
It's got to be the right time of year. This probably is not the right time of year.
No.
I don't know about you up north, but it has gotten cold here in the evenings.
Well, if you're going to go to a clothing optional beach this time of year, wear a scarf.
Okay, that's much better.
You can wear a jacket. The clothing is optional.
Yeah, or a
Oh.
toque.
Or a
Yeah.
toque, yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, folks, if you are watching tonight's podcast and joining us live, first of all, you can join us live from Facebook now. That's brand new. So, Chris of the Northwest, nice job. Good job.
Good job. Well done.
Well done.
Awesome.
I see that on our live feed, we've got a thumbs up even there. That's very
That
cool.
means somebody's actually watching.
Somebody loves us.
Oh,
It's so sweet. Thank you. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying watching us through various media and mediums, and it's all very cool.
Is that
If you
media?
want, yes, exactly. If you want to add your thoughts around Earth caches and Earth caching to this show, use hashtag EC in the chat. That way, it'll help us zero in on it. It'll catch our eye a little bit more. So hashtag EC if you've got Earth caching thoughts for the show. And if you just want to have a random thought for us to talk about with you, use hashtag FTAS or FTAS for the after show.
That is so nice.
Hmm.
We like the after show. In fact, I like it so much.
the after show.
We're not going there yet.
Oh,
I was
I
gonna
was going
say,
to say,
you
we're
like
just going
it
to
so
quit
much.
the show and go straight to the after show?
I've had some people say that we enjoy the after show more than the show. And maybe we should just do all after show.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, maybe. That sounds like a good patron special is what that sounds like.
Ooh, there you go.
I think we
All
should do
after
this
show.
one. All
After all, we have no show.
Indeed.
Okay.
That's right up there with our $1 million guarantee. If you give us $1 million, we guarantee to talk about whatever you like.
That's true. We will do that.
A million. I don't have to do 1 million. I'd be happy with 100,000.
Thank you. Careful. I was going to say careful there.
Okay. Hey, we have some news.
Ooh.
In fact, hold on. We have a banner that says news. And there it is. GeoWoodstock news.
Hmm.
This happened I know it's not the Northwest, but it leads me to a point, and I'm willing to use any news article to get my point across. Tennessee Highway Patrol officers said Monday afternoon that a suspicious device was found by the Tennessee Department of Transportation worker. And here's what triggered it for me in Washington County. Turned out to be a geocache.
So it's kind of honorary Northwest.
Yeah. Well, I've got Google searches set up for different keywords, and geocache in Washington were one of them. And well, this one triggered.
Triggered all right, according to the
Yeah.
story.
A geocache is a device used by high-tech treasure hunting.
No,
it's
I've
not.
heard that described that way
Yeah.
before. I love that.
Kind of a device. Now, this device appeared to be a pipe bomb. Now, the picture on the webpage, on the article for this, actually showed, a metal pipe with the two ends, two screw ends on it. So the Johnson City Police Department bomb unit responded and made the device safe.
Made it safe.
Hmm.
Air quotes again.
Was it not safe to start with since it was only a geocache?
I don't
love it.
know.
Hmm.
The officials say they don't know who placed the geocaching device on the guardrail. The road was shut down for approximately 1 hour. So
they could find out.
Well, I was thinking I should write them and say, hey, you know what? There's this thing. It's free for all
Law
police
enforcement.
departments.
Yeah.
It's called a premium membership. You should get one.
Indeed.
So, okay. My whole thinking is it's time to get rid of all guardrail caches.
You know, guardrail caches serve a purpose for sure, and I think what it is people have to. There was a conversation on Twitter this week that I was a part of as well about. It might have even been this story. I think it was a different story, but a similar scenario again. Somebody placing a geocache that's a piece of PVC pipe with the end screwed on, and you got to think like a muggle. Like that is a super convenient cache type. To
Oh,
build one like that, you can go buy
it's
the parts really cheap.
sturdy. It's going to last forever.
There's lots of pluses
Right?
to it.
Yeah.
The really big minus is if a muggle finds it, they're gonna think it's a pipe bomb. Like you gotta, and even if you put the word geocache on it, that doesn't mean a muggle, someone
Right.
who does not know what geocaching is, it's the high tech treasure hunting.
Mhm.
Um, it doesn't mean that they're gonna know. Oh, this pipe bomb is fine because it's not a pipe bomb, right?
Well, the one in the did I say the one in the picture was a metal piece of metal tubing with the end screwed on with the end caps? So
Yes.
I mean, when you say pipe bomb, that's a pipe with the end screw. Yeah, it's a pipe bomb.
There you
So,
go.
um, yeah,
So
just don't do that. Yes, it's incredibly durable. They're pipes. They're designed to hold water, so they're either in or out. So it's going to work really well for this, but it's probably not the right application anymore. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So the time for doing that has
so
passed.
that means all um, guardrail caches should be. Uh,
Not pipe bombs.
that's really good. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah,
I was going to go with
enough
archive.
said.
There
You
you
know,
go.
the Seebeck tribe says the worst weather forecaster this morning said the cold weather in Western Washington is from the Fraser Valley. Those darn Canadians.
Well, first
hold
they were
on.
putting all the anger into the Canadian geese and sending them down. Now they're putting a cold front in. I'm just glad that this summer they didn't send a lot of wildfire smoke down to us.
Yes,
You've
and
done
and
that in
thank
the
you for not returning the favor as you have done in previous years. I also want to point out that if it's the Fraser Valley, then that's not actually where I live. But if it's the Fraser Valley without an I, that is where I live. So
Mm.
Wait, you just said I live. So it's the Fraser Valley with you or an I in this
with
case.
me, but not an I in the word. Yes. Anyways, uh, so Seebeck tribe, thank you for pointing that out. And if I have made your morning more uncomfortable by shipping my cold weather down, I apologize. All right. Hey, we have a super active chat and it is a lot of fun. We see you guys in there. Um, hopefully you guys are going to have fun tonight. I see we've already got a few hashtag ECs in there, which is great. And I also want to shout out to um, Die Monkey. I think I saw way earlier on that she's in the chat. Nice to see you there. I heard you've had some misadventures recently, so glad to have you on tonight. Hope you're feeling better.
Indeed.
All right. And yeah, you guys are awesome in the chat. Keep it up. We really enjoy that. Um, so what else have we got going on? Well, as we've discussed, this weekend is, as I like to refer to it, International Earth Cache Weekend. I know technically International Earth Cache Day, but they have extended it to more than one day so that Canadians don't have to give up our Thanksgiving dinner.
It's a time when land monkeys give thanks for earth caches.
for 2 days to get a souvenir for finding an Earth cache.
Yeah.
That's what we give thanks for. So tonight we're going to be
So does
responding to
that
your
make
comments.
tomorrow Canadian Black Friday?
What's that?
Does that make tomorrow Canadian Black Friday?
No,
I think
we've
they're
adopted the U.S. Black
Yes,
Friday.
I think they're too intelligent to have a Black Friday of their own.
We've adopted the U.S. Black Friday, and there's it's it's funny because it's only really been in the last maybe 4 or 5 years that it's become a thing. Traditionally, the big gift buying time, or maybe not gift buying time, but the big go out and purchase electronics and appliances and whatever, was Boxing Day. In Canada, it would be Christmas is over, like just barely,
Yeah.
the skin of your teeth, and the stores would open up the next morning, and that's when you would go and buy all your stuff on
I thought
sale. But
that's when you binge watched all the Rocky movies.
yes,
I thought that came after Christmas when you tried to put the gifts back into the box. They came in.
Well, you could if you want to return it for something else. Yes. So yes, Boxing Day. So yeah. So anyways, International Earth Cache Weekend is upon us. So we're going to talk about your questions, your comments about earth caching. We've gotten a few that came in through social media and the couple of days preceding the show. So thank you to those guys, awesome listeners who've done that already. So we've got those in the show notes and thought through some answers. And you guys are already throwing some into the chat.
Yeah.
So we'll take those too, which is awesome.
Yeah, like GeoNavPros had commented that it takes the land monkeys 2 days to get to the nearest Earth cache.
It
Is that
doesn't.
true?
It does not, because Mr. Land Monkey has been clever and has been leaving earth
Ah.
caches that are nearby. So if you put an earth cache within 20 kilometers of where I live, I'm not going to go find it until an October.
Okay, fair enough.
So
So if you want to
October
hide
to
one for land monkey, hide it in like Kansas or
because we'll get there.
Northwest Territories or
Give us
someplace.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, not a thing. But we do have some great questions. And do we want to get into some of that?
Well, what if we start with Trexer, who
Let's do
says,
that.
I have 24/7 Earth Cache selected since I'm working the day on Saturday and Sunday.
Awesome.
Nice. You know, for a situation like that, Land Monkey, would you say that it's okay to go pre-find the Earth Cache and then log it on Saturday or Sunday? Oh,
You know what? That's a pretty rare circumstance. Um, I would turn a blind eye to that personally. I have not done that. I always log earth caches for the day that I visited the site.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I know that a number of people do that with earth caches, and primarily when it is on a, you want to get the souvenir, and Trexer's gonna be working and is not gonna have the opportunity to do that. So I get it. I
And Trexer commented pre-finding. Boo.
Okay. So then
Oh.
maybe we misunderstood there. So Trexer is not actually pre-finding. So he's not, because if we reread this, I have my 24/7 Earth cache site. So it's an Earth cache he can get to when he's not
Yes.
working during the day. Okay.
right. No, I acknowledge that.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't
It was
listening.
Chris of the Northwest that threw in the pre-finding phrase. So
Yeah. So Trexer, I apologize if it sounded like I was making that your request. It was not. I was just goading the monkey. And there are certain topics it's so easy to do.
Well, and I was trying to be so nice because I thought, oh, it's one of our really cool listeners and loyal listeners, so I'm not gonna. But yeah, Trexer, if you say pre-finding boo, I agree with you. Pre-finding boo.
that's
Chris
right.
of the Northwest, stop being a jerk. No pre-finding.
But I'm so good at it. I'm working within my giftings.
I just think it's a real gift to give you Earth Caching Weekend on a weekend where you're getting it with family, so that it gives you an excuse to get away from your loved ones and go earth caching.
I suppose that's a thing.
Because on U.S. Thanksgiving Day, I have been known to go out geocaching to avoid in-laws. Hypothetically speaking,
Would that make you the outlaw?
mm, I could only be so lucky.
So hey, quickly before we go, I see a comment there from Keats. Let's bring that up. I know he's out in the Maritimes.
He is traveling.
Oop.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
That's the one.
Probably going to hit the hay.
Yeah.
Is that a driving accident out in farmland?
Hopefully.
No, I mean where he is, it's like 4 a.m. or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's 1 a.m.
There you go.
for Keats 94. He just arrived in Cape Breton. So glad you got there safely, buddy. And he says, expect to hear some stories from Cape Breton. Awesome. We're looking forward to the field recordings.
Yes, or a phone call to, what was that number again?
253-693-TFTC
Thank you so much.
or
Awesome.
thereabouts.
Or thereabouts. Very, very cool. So what else we got going on? Do we want to get into some of the questions or some of the other questions we had?
Well, there are earth caches that some are a little more involved, shall we say?
Hmm.
And we had a comment from Dormore that came in this week and said, what type of questions, Earth cache questions you were talking about, make you say, no, I'm not doing this Earth cache. It's too complicated.
What do you guys think? Have you come
Well,
across
for
that?
me, when it says Earth cache in the title, done.
Too
It's too complicated
Yeah.
because I'm lazy.
You know, I've done some where you're measuring the flow of water, and
Yeah.
that's tough if you don't have the right tool with you, or you don't have a tool such as
When you have to go into the volcanic crater and take a magma sample, that's too complicated.
that
Too complicated or too risky?
I still would.
Yeah, either one.
It's just go buy a cheap hiking stick. Because you're just going to use it quickly.
When you drive onto the volcano with vodka dripping on your tires to keep them cool.
Oh,
Is that a thing? I haven't heard of
yeah.
that before.
Yeah, that was a Top Gear episode, I believe.
Oh, sweet. Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
go out to find that.
When you have to get a sample of Old Faithful's water plume
Hmm.
from the source, yes, that's a
From
little
the
too much.
source. How many meters below ground would the source be?
Who I don't know.
Yeah. For me, so to give an honest answer to this question, or a not silly answer to this question, um, too complicated. There have been earth caches that I have looked at, particularly when I'm on a hashtag geocache road trip, and said, looks interesting, but gonna pass. And that is when there are multiple waypoints. And I
Mhm.
look at how many different waypoints I will need to get to and make observations at. And it's like, you know what? On this trip, I just don't have time for that.
I don't know if I believe that with you, Land Monkey.
I
I've
do.
been in downtown Portland on like a 9-stop
But we
Earth
had
cache.
budgeted time for that. Like that was in the plan to do
Yeah.
that. So
And actually, that one was a lot of fun.
It
that
was
one was a lot
actually.
of fun.
Yeah.
I've only found a couple of earth caches like that. There's another one in Halifax, in fact, that I did recently that is very similar. And that can be a lot of fun doing those if you plan the time appropriately.
Exactly.
So yeah, so there's my answer to that one.
JT Coffee says, for me, if I know the CO will be too critical of my answers, I'm less inclined to do it.
Hmm.
But I still do it.
Way to go.
Good for her. That's awesome. Good answer. Yeah.
So
Hey, and
yeah,
we're looking forward.
that's true. I mean, if you have an Earth Cache CO that is very particular,
That's a good word.
yeah, it may be a reason not to do it, but do it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, so I have done earth caches where the CO was very particular about the answers, um, and did it anyways. And there was some back and forth until they were happy with the answers. That is very rare, to be honest. At least in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
most earth cache owners are generally, hey, looks like you made a decent effort. The good ones will say, and here's what I was actually looking for in an answer.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've gotten that a time or two.
uh,
Wow, I remember one. I remember the essence without the words of, wow, you're the first one who came up with that answer. Now, I don't know if that was good or bad.
Right.
I was going to take a little pride in that until Wits End laughed, and I thought, well, maybe that's right. Maybe I thought completely different, but
yeah, no, that's a good answer. That's a good answer from Jesse, and we're looking forward to Jesse joining us on the podcast in a few weeks.
Yay.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I think. Oh, what else we got here?
this is from Monkey Cakes. I had
Right, I called her Die Monkey earlier. Old habits die hard. Monkey cakes.
Monkey Cakes. The nearest Earth cache to work home is located in a nearby park. I've been to the park dozens of times, but I've never actually logged it.
Well, International Earth Cache Weekend, you
There you
could do
go.
that.
Saving it for a rainy day.
She may not be up to it this year.
Yeah. We'll see.
Hopefully she is. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah. So I think
Okay.
that
So
answers Dora Moore's question. Thank you. Good question, Dora Moore.
there's one from Limax. He says, I have scouted a few places for earth caches in my area, one near an old coal mine. The tailings can be seen from the road. I'm having trouble coming up with interesting questions related to geology since I know more about the history. How do you come up with interesting questions?
Hmm.
Oh, that's great question. I find that question very interesting.
Yeah. So there you go. So good start, Limax. You've already posed an interesting question. Do you guys want to take a run at this before I do?
Um, Library.
Well, you don't even need to go to a library.
Not anymore, do you?
Yeah.
But some of the geology books, and if you know the history, you can also do geological history
Mhm.
as far as why they decided to dig a coal mine there. What type of rock other than coal were they digging through? I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head. I have no idea if it'll be accepted as an earth cache. So Limax, don't
Good
take
job.
my word for it.
And don't be erratic.
Hmm.
Yeah. Chris, I think you're making a good point though. Like, so Limax, if you are really confident on the history of the area, then a little bit of research on the geology and then tie those two together
Mhm.
would actually make for a really interesting earth cache.
Yeah.
Um, you can you don't have to ask questions about the history, but you can present a lot of information about the history. And most people who are passionate about earth caches read the descriptions. Um,
Yes, if you're passionate.
and they will appreciate the work that would go into actually being able to share that information. Um, so, if you're asking how can you come up with interesting questions, well, as Chris in the Northwest said, do a little bit of research on the geology, and then you'll probably start to be able to piece together. I mean, Limax is a pretty smart guy, be able to piece together how the geology of the coal mine or the geology of that region ties in with the history. As Chris said, what were they originally doing there? What did they start digging? Did they start digging for coal? Did they find a coal seam at ground level? Is that what started the whole process? So I think you can definitely tie those two things together um, and come up with something pretty cool.
There's a question in the chat that I think needs a little more clarification. MC3 Cat says the earth caches I have put out, I've used other forms of media to get my inspiration for a new earth cache. What forms of media? Like having it's you just ask the question and the answer pops up all on it. Having some very interesting geological features in Washington State make it a lot easier to come up with the inspiration for an earth cache. Yeah. I happen to there's an earth cache I want to do here in Tacoma, but I can't quite figure it out. There's a fault line that, I'm interested in, I want to try, but I don't think you can see it.
Hmm.
So it's really hard for me to come up with a reason to put an earth cache there and have if you can't see what's going on.
If you can't observe it, then
Yeah.
it's probably not going to be a great earth cache. Yeah,
So I've got to find a spot where that fault line pops out.
there you go. There were some questions up earlier in the chat, and I just want to get to those ones before we grab the other ones in our show notes because I don't want to
I
accidentally
was going to say
miss
they could be lower in the show notes. I grabbed some
Oh,
like
did you?
from
Oh, okay.
Keats and
Keats.
from Trexer.
Okay, and there was another one about reviews. I want to see where that is.
Do, do, do,
All
do,
right.
do,
Well,
do, do,
Chris in the Northwest, I think
do,
you had the next
do,
item.
do. Yes.
Why don't you jump to that while I go through the chat and make sure I didn't miss something?
Well, what coaster asks, what's the most number of earth caches you have found on a single day? Ooh. You might need a special tool like, say, Project GC for that.
Hmm.
That's what I used to find it.
Land Monkey, who, nobody can compete with ever, even though he's competitive, says 22. That's on August 7th, 2015. So, I mean, that's like over 4 years ago. It hardly counts.
I think it still counts.
Now, to find that many, he really did cheat.
No, I didn't.
He went to Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah.
That's like a cheat code for Earth caches.
Well, it is, and virtuals, but that is where I have found the most Earth caches in one day. And I mean, you visit so many amazing places in Yellowstone, and it is literally loaded with Earth caches. But I visited each one of those spots. I took photos. I researched the answers to the questions, made my observations, and took a while to get them all submitted. But I submitted them all for the day that I visited those spots because no queuing them up for later, Chris of the Northwest. Hey, I found the other question. I'm going to pop it up here. Is that the same one that you grabbed for the chat for later? I think it's different.
Don't know. Go ahead.
So Trexer's asking, is it true that only a small percentage of Earth caches submitted actually get published? And that is a really interesting question that I don't know the answer to. I don't know if anybody who isn't an Earth cache reviewer would actually be able to authoritatively answer that question. I know obviously it's more difficult to get an Earth cache published than to get a traditional published. So there's fewer of them that are submitted, I would think. But I don't know. That's a really good question. I know at least one Earth cache reviewer, and maybe I'll ask that question, see what comes back. But we won't have the answer tonight. But good question. Interesting question.
I'm actually intrigued to see what you learn about that.
Yeah. Okay. So made a note.
Well, going back to previously submitted questions, Doramore again asks, which question is your least favorite?
Ooh.
And then she adds for her, it's estimate the height or length or width or, measurement like that.
Right.
Yeah. So you're
Distance or-
standing, 100 miles away from Mount Rainier. Estimate how far up or how far down the glacier go. About a quarter of an inch.
All the way from point A to point B.
Beginning to end.
Yeah.
There you go. And Cash the Line said his least favorite question is to estimate the flow rate. I think Chris in the Northwest, you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. So there was one, it was an artesian well, but there was a nearby 5-gallon bucket. So the flow rate was easy. You just put it under there, time it, and you've got 5 gallons in this amount of time. I can tell you the flow rate. But if you're out geocaching, you think, oh, there's an Earth cache here. Let me read. Oh, I won't have anything to do that with here in the car.
Yeah.
If I had known that's where I was going out. Yes. So sometimes yes, sometimes no.
There you go.
Doramore is laying down the gauntlet. She says, I accompanied O'Joy on a 23 Earth cache weekend. She was trying to get her Earth cache numbers up to 497 before going on a trip to Africa to get her milestone 500 there.
Wow.
That's pretty good. 23 in a weekend.
I mean, it's O'Joy. So
yeah, I mean,
so there you go. Yeah.
A weekend for her is a lifetime for some people.
Yes.
That's awesome.
If you don't mind, I'm going to go back to MC3 Cats.
Do it.
So some very interesting geological features in Washington State. He actually turned me on to this. He says there's a famous local geologist who teaches at Central Washington University that is fairly well known on YouTube. And, he talked to that. We mentioned something and he goes, oh, have you seen that video? I think it was on Ellensburg Blues, which is a type of rock. I know. Everybody who is a geology major just goes, oh yeah, it's not a rock. It's an agate or some such, but
Norwegian blue.
No, I don't have any.
That's different. Yes. Beautiful.
So I had to look it up because I had forgotten his name. It's Nick Zentner, Zentner. Zentner.
Can you type that into the chat?
I could. And if you just Google him, there's several.
That's cool. Thank you very much.
There are several YouTube videos, and he makes it very interesting.
That's
so
cool.
I was very impressed. So thank you, MC3 Cats, for turning me on to that. And it started my Earth cache wheels spinning in my head. Oh, he mentioned this. Now, it was a build up to something else, but that fits in our area. How can I use that and make an Earth cache?
Okay, so Nick is not an Earth cacher or a geocacher per se, or at least not.
No, he's a geology professor at Central Washington University.
So it is about geology. So it's information you can use for Earth caching.
Right. But
it's not specifically information about Earth caching.
Exactly.
Okay.
But, a simpleton like me understood what he was saying because of his pretty pictures.
Then he's an excellent teacher.
Yeah, exactly. He's a very good teacher. And, I came away going, oh, now I can use this or this. And yeah, I'm going to do it. So I haven't done it, but I have to find now that I have the information, I have to go find the location. I know what I'm looking for.
That's cool. That sounds like fun. Well, it sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not to everybody.
And apparently I've aged myself with that tune. I don't think so, because it's still on the air.
There you go.
Yeah, but you knew it when Alex Trebek had a mustache.
Yeah.
Back in the days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to here? I want to bring up this comment from Seaback Tribe. We were talking earlier about least favorite questions and tough COs. Seaback Tribe says, I had a CO really grill me for an answer and I couldn't figure out the answers. Then they gave me the answer and it was an oh duh moment and I realized what they wanted. So that definitely happens. And
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been asked in a way that just didn't click with you.
Yeah.
Where if you asked it, no, yeah, I knew that, but.
Well, and here's the thing: not everybody who writes who writes an Earth cache, writes up the description for an Earth cache, is a good teacher.
Yeah.
They may have their geology correct, but it doesn't mean that they're communicating it in the best possible way for the masses. And so there's a few really good tips to follow when you are creating an Earth cache that helps with some of those things for sure.
Well, I want to use GSM times 2 as a good example. He said, I just had a Channel Island National Park, or the Channel Island National Park, turn down my request to set an Earth cache on Santa Rosa Island. So
he asked for permission.
Exactly. That's what I was going for right there. He asked for permission. Good job, GSM times 2.
Yeah, well
you
done.
get the medal for the day.
If
I had one, I'd give it to you.
He's got another follow-up comment, and this I think relates to the earlier question from Trexer. So GSM times 2's experience, I have submitted about 6, all but 1 published. So that's a pretty good turnaround rate. My personal experience, I can't think of any that have been denied other than denied because I could not get permission from the landowners, which is not, it's not the reviewer denying it, but it's the reviewer saying, well, it's not even really the reviewer saying it. It's me not being able to get permission from the landowners. So it doesn't even get to the reviewer. I think everything I've gotten to a reviewer has gotten published. Sometimes I've had a little bit of feedback and said, hey, could you, maybe reword this or take a different approach to that?
Can you stop submitting so many?
Can you just be normal? No,
not Land Monkey.
So yeah, so I guess it's sounding like from people's experience who've submitted them that generally there's not a big pushback from the reviewers. So there you go.
Now, Stark Cacher, I just want to comment on his steadfastness of getting an Earth cache this weekend. I'm on a vacation in Chicago from Toledo to attend Six Flags amusement park this weekend. They open at 11 a.m. I will stop at an area Earth cache during one of the mornings in order to get the souvenir.
That's commitment.
There you go, Start Cacher. Nice work.
GeoNav Pro says, doesn't everybody keep a bucket in their top bag?
Hmm.
And really, your top bag should be a bucket.
It's a big bag. All right. Oh, I see a little bit more information from MC3 Cats about Nick Zentner.
Yes, he has a channel called Nick on the Rocks,
I love it. All right, I got to go check that out. I'd never heard
to
of that.
which GSM times 2 says, I hate geology puns. At least that's my sentiment.
Hmm.
Ah,
That's a nice joke. I didn't take it for granted.
Oh,
right.
okay. Here's one for you. Land Monkey. Doramore asks, how did you get permission for your Earth cache on Nikomin Slough?
Nickerman Slough.
Slough? Yes, of course. I know that, but I look at it and I cannot pronounce that word properly.
It's slough. No, it's not. Sorry, that's a tough one.
It's the same spelling as the word dough.
Or tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or cough.
It's the Great Britain influence.
Can we assume that there were boats allowed? Well,
Can we assume that where boats are allowed, Earth caches will be allowed too?
thank you.
Yeah. So Nickerman Slough, that area is public access area, and so when I submitted the Earth cache for that area, I just clarified that it is a public access area, and that there's not specific landowner permission required, public lands, and clarified where it was for the reviewer, and didn't get any pushback on it. So, but I always say, like, I always anticipate that I'm going to be asked, did you get permission from the landowner? So, or land manager, I should say, not landowner. Sometimes the land manager is also a landowner, but
It happens.
it happens. Some of those things are fun. But yeah. Start Cacher had a least favorite question. You want to bring that one up?
Least favorite question is to estimate the weight of a rock in the ground. How the heck do I know any clue about that estimate?
So yeah, you know what, Star Cacher, I'll agree with you on that. I've been struggling to think, what's my least favorite question about Earth caches? I think that's the one. Dimensions or weight of a rock that is only partially above ground. I'm like, it could be shaped like an iceberg. It could be like only 2 centimeters underground. Unless I start digging here, I have no way to know that. So, like, I'm going to give you a complete wag on this, and you know, don't push back on my answer, because I'll argue this one to the nth degree.
Yeah. There's not enough physical evidence.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We have one from Wet Coaster that
Okay.
says, since the Earth Cache Academy isn't in operation any longer, where can we go to get information we need to create our Earth caches? Well, first, head on over to YouTube and look at Nick Zentner.
Zentner.
That'll give you some geology information.
Yeah,
for sure. And Earth Cache Academy was largely about giving you a really good introductory series, getting you into and understanding the basics of geology. But the other thing it did is it applied it to the actual art of Earth caching as well. Earth Cache Academy was awesome, and I miss it. I'm very sad that they ran out of funding and had to shut it down. I've been actually kind of toying with the idea of creating an online master class on Earth caching. We'll see. We'll see where I get with that. Got about 4 big projects on the go right now, so I need to narrow down my bandwidth. But I posed the question on Twitter, if something like that was available, would there be interest? And there seemed to be some interest. So I think I may pursue doing that. But yeah, Nick Zentner, definitely. There's, if you search YouTube for how to earth cache or how to make an earth cache. There's a variety of videos, but I'm going to tell you your mileage may vary.
Mhm.
Um, as opposed, or not as opposed, as regards the quality of those videos. So, and the information contained therein. And the other thing is, earth caching in the last couple of years, the guidelines have changed. So, um, if it's a video that's more than 2 years old, it might not be 100% correct.
Interesting.
No.
Should that be a whole caching in the Northwest project to
Hmm.
do that earth caching class?
Hey, that's if you
We're
guys want
around.
to help me out. Sounds
We're
like
around and we can read sometimes.
Well, I'm gonna jump down a little bit, and you said things have changed. Trexer asked, he says, I've heard that there are certain Earth cache topics that are no longer permitted. There's something could be changed because there's just flat too many on that specific feature already. Do you know what such topics are? It's a very erratic question.
it is definitely an erratic question. So there you go. There's the first hint. Glacial erratics. You will
Yeah.
not get a glacial erratic earth cache approved, at least not in the Northwest. Um, so I'd say don't even bother. But
I wouldn't
um,
either.
that's
And
one.
don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's right.
So waterfalls are another one. Waterfalls are funny though, because I actually have had a waterfall earth cache approved,
What?
but
Did it
because I
involve mosquitoes?
no, but it didn't involve the actual waterfall or how the waterfall, you know, how did this waterfall erode it was a waterfall that was near a mine, and it was much more about the mine and the geology
Hmm.
that created the mine, but it's a beautiful waterfall that you went to. So it's so there you go. Oh,
The Doramore question?
no, I was looking at Jesse's answer on two other ones, columnar basalt and artesian wells, or so she's heard. So that's good. I knew about the waterfalls, did not know about artesian wells and columnar basalt, that those were frowned upon by the earth cache reviewers as well.
They're very common.
They are. Yeah.
And GSM times two says he cannot get erratics approved in Southern California. And I
Okay.
thought all of Southern California was pretty erratic.
You kind of sort of.
Very
Sorry.
cool.
I just had to throw that out
So
there.
you're going to bring up Doramore's comment. Go for it.
So Doramore said, I went on a GeoVenture Earth cache tour in Iceland. We had two geologists as guides, and we came across one Earth cache where they disagreed about the answers. Lesson learned, there are not always easy answers.
There you go.
Very cool. Yeah, if you get a chance to talk to Ojoy or Dora Moore about, I think Ojoy was on the same GeoVenture. I can't remember.
Yes, she was.
Okay. If you get a chance to talk to either of those great ladies or anybody else who went on that
Yes,
GeoVenture
other
tour,
people went as well.
sorry,
Yes, other people went as well.
other people went as well. Yeah, I just can't remember off the top of my head. I know. Another geocacher up in our area went. I just can't remember her caching name, so I don't want to put her out of the closet. But yeah, if you know somebody who went, ask them about that. I've heard a rumor there may be another GeoVenture tour coming up for Hawaii soon, which would be super duper cool. But if you go to the GSA's website, that's where you would find out about those as they come. Cat Kogo, that's her caching name. Thank you, Doramore.
Hmm.
So if you know Doramore, Cat Kogo, or Ojoy, ask them about that GeoVenture Earth Cache tour in Iceland, and they'll tell you all about it. It was apparently a pretty amazing adventure they went on.
Yes, very amazing. Jesse comes back with, I had the artesian well Earth cache declined by a reviewer because, quote, they've been done. End quote. Yeah,
It's all
so
been
have
done.
guardrail caches. Yet
Yeah.
people are still putting pipe bombs in them.
Yes, they are.
Oh, wait.
We had a comment from Keats earlier. Hashtag EC. He said, "Gonna do some Nova Scotia Earth caches in Cape Breton. So many great geologically interesting places to visit." And that is, he's hit on one of my favorite things about Earth caches is that it makes a great tour guide, a great way to plot out and plan.
Helps you choose your destination.
Yes,
Choose
interesting
your
spots
own
to visit.
your Earth caching adventure.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, good for that, and hope you have a great time. Looking forward to your photos and your field reports,
He does
Keith.
a very good job at that.
Yes, indeed. How we doing? We get
I'm
through?
well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
We're all fine here.
How are you?
A boring conversation, anyways.
That's right. We're gonna have company.
And it's GSM times 2. He says that GC7 Charlie's Zulu. I want to say zebra. Where am I? Quebec,
Mary.
Mary. Thank you. I got lost in the. This one requires you to put your observations so that we can have running observations of the conditions at the time people visit.
That's fun. I like that. I have an Earth cache that's like that as well. That mine's a T5 Earth cache, and the only way you can do it is if you have your own seaworthy vessel or off of a BC ferry. Um, and it's on the Fraser River Plume, and I think it's a really interesting phenomena. And I ask people to, in their logs, put the coordinates and the date and time that they cross the plume on the ferry or on their boat. And then that way, if you go through all the logs, you could actually plot out how it has moved, at least during the times when people have logged it.
Cool.
Interesting.
So a similar idea to what GSM times 2 is talking about, but it's neat to do stuff like that. That's part of the fun of geology, because some aspects of geology don't change very fast at all, but some do, especially fluvial related ones,
And they're observable.
and they are.
Nice. And the question of like how much material has eroded here since the last person has visited.
A lot.
To know that.
Yeah. How did this get here?
Glaciers.
Stuff. Dora Moore talking about my Fraser River Plume Earth cache. I've done an Earth cache more than once. Every time I take the ferry to Nanaimo, I check for it now. That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, oops. Well, folks, what do you think? Earth caching, get out and find one this weekend. You're going to get a souvenir. And what's better than a free souvenir?
2 free souvenirs.
Oh, yeah.
A
You're only
souvenir
going to
that
get one for
somebody
the
pays you.
weekend. You're not going to get one for Saturday, one for Sunday.
Okay, go find a Earth cache in a state or province you haven't visited before. Then you'll get 2 souvenirs.
Ooh.
Oh, doubling up.
There you go. And if, maybe you have to cross an international border.
Go pay for another premium membership and find all of them again.
Oh.
No, don't do that.
You don't have to pay for a premium membership.
Depends on whether the caches are premium only.
Can you make an Earth cache premium only?
Yeah, you can make any cache premium only,
Oh.
I think. I don't know. Where's our online reviewer to correct me when I just make assumptions and blurt them out like they're facts?
There is no reviewer. You can say whatever you like.
That's right.
There you go. You can
I would like to go find out, but I've got something to read right now.
Okay.
That says, I assume we're done, right? Because I was going to say thank you, listeners, for taking the time to tune into this episode of Caching in the Northwest. We hope you enjoyed it because we had a lot of fun to bring it to you. Now, in a couple of weeks, we are going to talk with Black Hawkinger from HQ about GGIF 2019.
How about that? Looking forward to that one already. And, here we are in Oktoberfest season. And we always end Oktoberfest season with that Halloween thing. And on Halloween, don't go trick-or-treating with the kids. Come here on Thursday night and listen to us talk about caching in creepy places. And how much more creepy could it be than to spend Halloween with us?
Yeah, exactly. Just turn off the lights and watch us, and it's really creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll show you. Look. There.
Oh,
How creepy is that?
wow.
That's
That
disturbing.
would be a great witness protection program setup you've got there.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
there's the
Even
creepy. Yeah. Creepy. Never mind.
You're all beard and mustache.
Well,
Oh, wait, with the lights on, he is too.
Yep. I was going to say that doesn't change. Ah.
Yes, with JT Coffee.
Yay.
For that caching in creepy
I
places.
knocked my little
looking forward to it.
casher down here. There we
Oh,
go.
no.
Aw.
Okay, he's back.
Well, and it's that time again that I want to take a moment and thank Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, or hey, go in person and visit their store in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. Open 6 days a week except for the holidays, and they ship online orders daily. And of course, as we always do, we want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks and JP's Geo Designs, Limax, Team Squirrel, and WorldCaching.com. And folks, hey, if you want to know more about supporting this show, we appreciate your interest, and we will encourage you to click on that Patreon link that's over there or over there. I think it's over there, though, on the cachingNW.com website.
And you know who's done that? Why, Broncos fan for life.
And Sprouter.
And Camp Clan.
Take Magnet.
Kev MacD.
Subaway Mark.
Dora Moore.
Dune Buddy.
Kid Vegas 19.
Geo Nav Pros.
Wino Seattle.
Ackerdoc.
Billy Robson.
Genies.
Unteus.
Keats 94.
Trexer Zero.
MC3 Cats.
Kettle Barb.
M-Nerve.
Wet Coaster. And Green Words.
Segehove.
Alarobic.
The Keepers of the Cash Flow.
Highlands Guy.
And the Geo Travelers.
That was very nice. And Boomer 365.
GSM times 2.
Kitty Quest.
T. Sayer.
Seebeck Tribe.
CRS 98.
And not to be outdone, B. Pendragon.
All right.
All right.
Chris almost broke our land monkey during that segment.
That was
there.
close. I
Yeah.
don't know why that was so funny today, but today that really amused me.
Sometimes things just tickle your funny bone.
Indeed.
And if something tickles your funny bone, that Land Monkey said, well, reach out and get in touch with him by one of these methods. Land Monkey.
Well, you can always reach us on the website, landmonkey.com, landmonkey.ca. But where you'll find activity all the time is Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Facebook. It's at LandMonkeyGC. Follow us there. There's always fresh content of where we've been, where we are going, and other interesting random thoughts. So all there for you to follow. We would love to have you follow us and share your thoughts with us on those social media platforms. And of course, YouTube, Land Monkey, just search LANMONKEY on YouTube. And we've got new episodes coming out every once in a while. And just in the process of working on the final episode of season 3 right now. So that'll be coming out soon.
Fantastic content there.
Season
Thank you.
3 finale.
Wits End.
Is there a cliffhanger
Is there
between seasons 2 and 3?
I can't remember if there was between.
You know what? Don't tell us. That'll be the
Is there at least a cliff involved?
There was a cliff in the last episode.
Okay, no spoilers.
Okay.
It was Cliff Clavin from Cheers.
Wits End, how do people find you, my friend?
Yeah, you can get in touch with me there at Cheers Bar. Wits End on Twitter, Facebook, and geocaching.com. Chris?
Is that a little known fact?
Yeah, a little known fact there. These are 3 people that have been in my kitchen.
Actually, no, it's a little known fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well done. Well done.
Wow.
How about Chris?
Northwest.
I'm just going to say you can find me on Twitter and Facebook. It sounds really boring after that. At Cash, you just look at Caching NW on Twitter, Facebook. Caching in the Northwest on Instagram. You know what? Head on over to cashingnw.com/host. Got that slash in there because, you know, it's
Almost Halloween.
everybody likes to watch the slash films. Yeah, it's just a web thing.
Anyway,
Host and read our bios and find all the links that we just mentioned. But of course, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask a question, or fix Land Monkey's broken washing machine any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Don't forget that your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like this show, click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more. Give us a thumbs up or even a review. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2019 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, we ask you to stay tuned for
The after show. Oh, I'm getting a little dingy. And I'm not buying a boat.
wrong button.
Technical.
Oh, it's the other slash. I went the other. Did I go the wrong way?
There you go.
My video's turned around.
There you go. I was gonna say on the broken washing machine, you're actually not far off. My washing machine is broken. It still functions, but the little timer dial, it runs and then it just stops. So you have to, go downstairs. You have to check on it every, 10 minutes, go downstairs, give it a little tap, and it picks up again and keeps going. So technically, yes, I do have a broken washing machine. Very insightful.
Interesting. So you're not only you're getting your wash done, but you're working on your cardio. That's what helps you climb mountains so well.
You need to do that in the Northwest, man.
He's got a lot of money he needs to launder.
Let's not say that on the air.
So I found that since we're in the after show,
The after show.
hit it the first time with the button.
Nicely.
I've fixed many a washing machine and dryer by watching a YouTube video. I look at it and go, that is exactly the model I'm working on. Yep. Hold on here. Okay, pause. Let me take this cover off. Okay, play. Okay, I've got to take that out. Hold on, pause. And just, sit there. It's like having a tech over your shoulder saying, remove that screw.
Mm-hmm.
Pull this out. Okay.
Yeah, other than the electronic circuit boards that control a lot of the functions, washers and dryers and dishwashers, really simple machines.
Yeah.
Right. The motors and the gears.
Yeah, just how they
agree. But this is like the control panels, or it's the control. So
just pull the timer out and just wire an on switch.
Oh yeah, tug. Or you do some sort of Rube Goldberg machine, where you drop a penny from upstairs and it's going to roll down a series of tubes and hit the knob right in the right spot. Oh wait, you're Canadian. You don't have pennies anymore.
Find a way to gamify it.
We have no use for them, so that's the use for the pennies right there.
Yeah, find a way to gamify it, and your son will be all over it.
Well, he's the most proximate too, so yeah, that would work. Oh, funny. I am asked if that was 10 imperial or metric minutes. It's metric minutes because we're in Canada. And yeah, folks, if you're planning to come up to GeoWoodstock, you have to remember that you're gonna have to tell time in metric. So
yeah,
start practicing.
Hour only has 10 minutes in it.
I just know it's half past Mickey's nose. I don't know what else there is.
Too funny.
What's a morning zoo radio show? Says MC3 Cats.
Oh, I think that's the traffic, not the traffic, but the shows that the rush hour shows that they usually have multiple hosts and they just spend half the time goofing off and then the other half the time playing music.
Oh, and the other third playing commercials.
And the other half, the third half.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can play music.
Yes, you can.
Should I play our alternate theme?
Oh, I thought you were going to play the bell.
I didn't hear my
podcast on the net. They call caching in the Northwest, and it's got information that everybody needs, and we think it's the best.
Thank
The
you.
listener submitted theme song.
I haven't
There you
heard
go.
that one for a while. Oh, Doramore got some dryer maintenance done with help
By
from.
YouTube.
There you go. Well, maybe there's a little project for me this weekend.
Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty,
Yeah, unless you're working on propane.
or metric.
Well, and if it's wash and dryers, it might be tighty whitey.
Plus, you may actually find 13 unmatched socks. Yes.
Well, all of the socks that you lose in the wash and dryer show up as Tupperware lids with no matching bowls in the kitchen cabinet.
Oh,
That's where they go. I figured that out.
witness relocation program.
Yeah.
Funny. We've got an after show FATAS from MC3 Cats. Says the 2019 WSGA member coin has arrived.
Mm.
We plan to schedule events around the state and hand deliver coins to our members. Very, very cool. What about your members who aren't in the state?
You're almost always in the state.
That's true. Valid point. I'll have to watch for the next North 48.
You travel around the state more than I do, and I live here.
I like your state. You got a nice state.
Yeah.
It's fun to explore.
State of confusion.
They said they will be mailing those out.
That's
GNF Pros, where can we order them?
WSGA website, I'm going to guess.
I'm thinking WSGAonline.org.
Is that what it is?
It's WSGA Online.
Okay. Try it.
WSGA. Wait.
Because I always get it. I always screw up because I always end up at the Washington State Golf Association.
Like that's a real thing.
It's not a real interesting thing, but it's so
I did it right.
oh, there we go. WSGAonline.org, all one word. Cool. So
Well, except for the dot. That makes it like 2 words.
okay, WSGA online is all one word. .org and slashes. He says they're not up on the website yet. Need to get them out to the members first. Very cool. So the members get first dibs if you're already a member, and then I guess they'll see what they've got left over.
They have a 2017 coin, and they have some 2018 ape coins.
Yeah.
And
did they sell out on the 2018 the actual coins?
Here's the 2018 WSGA Geo coin.
Yeah, I like those ones. That's one of my favorite coins.
Yes, that is a spectacular coin.
And Wino Seattle says they're really cool, and he saw them. So there you go.
Here, I could show you what they look like.
The 2019?
The 2018.
Oh.
Looks like this.
Yeah. I love that coin. Chris Mackey design, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the detail in the fur, feathers, and I'm going to be keep the F theme. The fur, feathers, and fins are spectacular.
You know, it's one of the things when I see a coin like that with incredible detail, my first thought now that I've learned a little bit is, was that made by Chris Mackey or designed by Chris Mackey? Because he tends to have that level of expertise in getting that detail into a coin.
Yes.
Which not everybody does. So that's very cool. Those are beautiful coins. I love those. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the 2019 WSGA ones look like when they come out. That'll be fun. All right. Oh, and Chris Bruce says Mackie designed that too. Cool. Exciting. All right. Well, what do you think, guys?
I think it's spectacular.
Good.
JT Coffee said, and 2019 ape coins. I was looking for that. I don't see the ape coin. I see the ape tag insert.
Okay. Is JT Coffee saying that Chris Mackey
The
designed them? Or
Mackie
is she saying
designed
they
it.
have
Yeah,
them for sale?
I was seeing if it
there
was
you
up on the website.
Okay. So she's saying it's a Chris Mackey design, not
Yeah.
necessarily that they have any
Yeah.
for sale anymore. Because I think they sold those ones out for sure.
Yes, they did. I believe so.
All right.
So all very well done.
Cool. Yeah. Christopher says the coins are there. So there you go. So yeah, if you're interested in WSGA coins or Going Ape coins, go check out the website, see what they've got to offer. There you go.
2018 coin.
That is a nice coin. Very, very cool. All right. Well, shall we call it a night, my friends?
I think so.
I
It's
think
a
so.
night. Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.